Science can tell people when they have a higher than average risk of cancer. But what can they do with that information? There's a nationwide support group with a Memphis presence to help women at risk of hereditary cancer be well beyond a diagnosis. Doug Johnson has details.
Invasive breast cancer will affect about 1 in 8 women in the U.S. during their lives. That's why doctors encourage screenings like mammograms so strongly. If the disease happens, the earlier it's found, the sooner it can be treated. But for some women, the risk is even higher because of inherited changes in certain genes. Mutations in the BRCA1 and BRCA2 genes means a much higher risk of disease. Knowing they had inherited gene mutations led two Mid-South women, Michelle Malone and Irene Rada, to not wait. Both underwent surgery to remove their breasts, rather than wait for an almost certain cancer diagnosis.
In comparison, I would say it was an easy decision because it was the best option, but it's never emotionally a very easy thing to do because it's part of your body. And as a woman, and especially for me, my breasts defined a lot of my femininity and who I was as a woman.
There are specially trained genetic counselors who work with doctors to help women find out whether they have a genetic risk of cancer, and those counselors can help women get through the process. But both Rada and Malone found another source of help, a group called FORCE, Facing Our Risk of Cancer Empowered. Women who have gone through the same thing, ready to offer an ear, a shoulder, a doctor's name, or any other help they can to help others get through the process.
I did kind of seek out some local support groups, and everything that I found was geared towards breast cancer survivors and people who had mastectomy because they'd already had gotten cancer. I didn't want to be involved in that because I didn't have cancer, and so through the internet I kind of did some searching to find support groups out there, and then I found the FORCE website.
FORCE is a national organization that encourages grassroots efforts. Irene was living in Boston when she met Michelle, who lives in Mississippi, on an internet message board. When Rada moved to Memphis, the two decided to form a local FORCE chapter to reach out to women here.
It is so overwhelming from the beginning to walking out of the counselor's office when they hand you that pamphlet and say, you can talk. There are other people like you. You're not alone. And that's the sentence of saying you're not alone, going, okay, I can do this if I don't have to do it alone. If I can say, I'm scared, and somebody's there to say, it's okay. We're scared too, and we did this. You can do it too. You're not alone. There's somebody to hold your hand.
The local FORCE meets several times a year in addition to talking online. Being able to share person to person has been an important part of the process for both women.
And I remembered how bad I felt when I couldn't find that in Memphis, so I wanted to make sure that no one else had that problem and no one else had to go through that.
The Memphis chapter of FORCE, Facing Our Risk of Cancer Empowered, can be reached online at facingourrisk.org/Memphis or call 901-232-5684. For Smart Medicine, I'm Doug Johnson.